welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Claire,
And I'm Mackenzie.
and today we are talking about, I wouldn't call it a series, but a third Colleen Hoover book, November 9. And this book is a doozy, if I do say so. No words can describe how I feel about this book. But anyway, we're going to have a talk about it. When Kenzie's ready, she will read the blurb as per normal, and we'll get stuck into it.
Fallon meets Ben, an aspiring novelist, the day of her scheduled cross-country move. Their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's last day in LA together, and her eventful life becomes the creative inspiration Ben has always sought for his novel. Over time, and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same date every year. Until one day, Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. Can Ben's relationship with Fallon and simultaneously his novel be considered a love story if it ends in heartbreak?
Alright, the big question, Kenzie. Thoughts, feelings, emotions. Before we get absolutely stuck into it.
Anger.
Anger.
Just anger.
Honestly, same. I am angry and emotionally and
Hurt.
morally messed up. Yeah, I don't know how I feel. It's like it's a very off-putting type of way. It messed me up so much that I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I liked the book. It was a good read, but yeah, it messed me up. I don't know. Confused. Conflicted. I would advise if you have read Ugly Love first, you should do that because there is some references and
But
characters
mind
appearances.
you, I didn't click straight away.
No, yeah, I suppose it could be subtle. Like, it depends what you read first. Comment the complete Colleen Hoover crossover event. Like, yeah, that's happening. So if you haven't read Ugly Love, I suppose it doesn't really matter. I don't recall any sort of information like that seeped from that book into this one other than just like the characters and relationships. So maybe you don't have to read Ugly Love, but I suppose, spoiler, Ugly Love characters are in this book. So do with that what you will. Honestly, we'll talk about that first, because it was a bit of a fleeting moment. This was my favourite part of the entire book. Just having Ian, Tate, and Miles there.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even... When Ben was saying, oh, my older brother Ian, I'm like, wait, hello? Is this the Ian from Ugly Love?
I guess
But,
because you read them like back to back, didn't you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think I read some books in between.
So you just kind of forgot Ian's
Yeah,
existence.
so I was like, okay.
But yeah, I remember I messaged you, I'm like, Ian? Is it the Ian? Tell me Tate and Miles is in there. And then, yeah, you confirmed it for me, which is good. But no, honestly, I loved it. Not a crossover I'd expect, but it also shows how messed up I guess, I know it's based in like a real modern world, but the fictional universe, like the men in these are like, go through so much. Because could you imagine Miles and like Ben having a conversation and be like, oh, how'd you meet Tate? It's like, oh, here's my story. And then Ben's like, oh, here's my story. They both get the girl in the end.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely messed up. A little conference call. Throw in Atlas and Maid Ryle. Like, they could have a little boys conference club. It was great. I enjoyed that part. What about you? Did you have any thoughts about their involvement or appearance?
I was a bit blasé about it. I didn't really care. I thought it was cute, but I was like unless you're going to connect the whole universe, then what is the point?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's probably just a nice little tidbit.
Yeah, so I think it's hard to talk about the book without talking about specific plot in this one.
Just
in particular,
rip it off like a band-aid.
Yeah.
Rip it off.
No, I'll start it. So we're introduced to Fallon, and she's having lunch with her father. It's like not a very good conversation, like she's mad at him, and then she finds out he's having a baby or getting married. Is it a baby or is he getting married?
I think it's married.
No, it's a baby.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember. But yeah.
Anyway, it's something. It's irrelevant. Anyway, and she gets upset over something, goes to the bathroom. We learn that she's all scarred and burned on the left side of her body. Anyway, and she comes back and her father is an actor, like a famous actor in LA, and she was a famous actress, but then she was in an accident where she got burned, so she couldn't act anymore because she was deemed not attractive enough. Anyway, she's having this fight with her father in a restaurant, and then a boy comes over, puts his arm around her, and pretends to be her boyfriend.
Very suave and cute interaction until you know his intentions.
Yeah.
It's a really bold move.
Yeah.
Very bold introduction, but it's unique. I quite liked it.
I like it. But, like, also, if someone did that to me in real life,
I know you'd be like, huh?
I'd be like, do not touch me.
Yeah, but I suppose you hear stories online of, like, people, you know, playing boyfriend-girlfriend parts to kind of intimidate people or scare people off.
Yeah.
But
I've just been listening to a lot of true crime recently, so
you don't trust nobody.
I trust nobody.
That's fair. But yeah, I feel like that situation definitely not uncommon in the real world. I wouldn't imagine in front of, like, a father or a parent.
Yeah.
But yeah, very bold.
Anyway, it's a very meet-cute situation. And then, I don't know, he asks her something, I don't know, about hanging out. And she's like, I'm moving to LA. No, she's in LA. She's like, I'm moving to New York. And they spend the rest of the day together. It's all very lovely.
They like each other.
They like each other, and they decide to meet. Well, she says that, no, she's 18, and she says that her mum says that she can't fall in love until she's 23. So they decide for every day for the next 5 years that they're going to meet on this day, and they don't exchange phone numbers or social media or anything. They just meet at this spot for every November 9th for the next 5 years until they're 23.
But that puts a lot of trust in each other, especially in strangers, because the no phone numbers, no social media, the trust that they're going to rock up. I thought the concept was really cute. Like, I think it's different. I don't think I've encountered, like, a meet this day every year or every few months or whatever. So, new concept to me. Logistics, again, seem to put a lot of trust on the stranger that you just met, but cute. The back end of this book, just messed me up. While we're at it, let's just have a quick talk about the Fallon and her dad's relationship. I've already forgotten his name. Is it Donovan?
Probably.
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't really care.
Yeah, neither. What an asshole he is.
Yeah.
Like, the last thing you'd do is to be putting down, like, your daughter's dreams. Like, you'd be encouraging. But I suppose it's a testament to who he is as a person, because he said that he cheated on her mum and all that, so he doesn't come across as a good father or a good person. But yeah, very bold for Ben to just swoop right in. So of course, with Ben and Fallon and their yearly meeting, they have this sort of little arrangement / bargain that or list homework they call it, to complete, which is very weird to kind of dictate what people do.
Yeah.
But
so Ben's
anyway.
an aspiring author. Oh Jesus, what did I just do in the doc? So what? He just has to write some chapters or something.
He just wants to write a book.
Yeah.
Or he gets an idea, because this theme, the book in itself is like, it's self-aware of an actual romance novel. Like, they talk about tropes and it happens. It's it kind of seemingly breaks the fourth wall, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Which is really cool in that sense.
You're going to love Verity.
Oh no. But yeah, so Ben, being a writer, he wants to write a book, and Fallon's favourite genre is, like, romance, and so he's like, alright, I will write a perfect romance novel, something like that. They give each other homework, although she doesn't really give him homework. He just has to write. But her homework is to, like, up her confidence.
Yeah.
When she's in New York, so, like, go on, like, 5 dates, and, like, kiss 2 of them or 3 of them or something like that. It's like, that's a little strange.
In a year as well, like, I feel like 5 in a year, like,
she just moved to this place, she knows no one. I understand, you know, you gotta put yourself out there to make friends, let alone date people, but, like, to do that in your first year in a new place seems a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, the next year they meet, and Fallon reveals she only dated a couple people and only kissed, like, one of them or something like that, but that's all fine. But yeah, I don't know, it's just a really, looking back on it now, a very weird arrangement where she has to, like, essentially become experienced in life while he just gets to mope around and write his book. Doesn't seem like a fair thing to do.
So how's the first year meeting up go?
Second meeting, Fallon is late, and we all assume she never shows up. That's what I thought. I thought she wasn't going to show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's late for some reason, which we forget, and it turns out that she has to leave again in a few hours. So she only has about like 5-ish hours with Ben. And I don't think they do much. They just hang around at his house and they just talk, really.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of relationship development there, which is cute. Nothing important happens.
Oh, sorry. I've just come across his thumb over the fabric covering my nipple.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, yeah, Fallon pulls the whole, I don't know your phone number, I could have called, even though that's part of their arrangement. It's all that
yeah.
miscommunication trope or whatever, you know? It's... Ugh.
She meets his brother, and is this when his brother takes him into the hallway, and something is going on? So, yeah, she catches Ben and Ian, like, in the hallway, and Ian punches Ben.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Ian knows who it is.
He knows.
I know he knows. I know he knows.
And this is where we meet, like, Jordan and stuff as well, right? Because she's there. Which is...
yeah.
Kyle's Mrs. Oh, I actually hate the word Mrs. I don't know why I said that. Girlfriend. His girlfriend. So that's cute.
Okay, so 3rd November.
Alright, I'm going to be really honest to the podcast. Kenzie and I are so unprepared that we're just skipping through the book just to revitalise our memories about what goes on.
Yeah, well, you can cut that bit out.
Yeah, that's very true, but, like, I like transparency. Oh, 3rd meeting, bam, death.
Yeah, bam, dead.
Right, so 3rd November isn't...
So 3rd November, same thing happens, like, one of them is late and they get the phone call at the restaurant.
Which is a fun way to go about it. I never really thought that the restaurant would be that nice and accommodating to just take phone calls for people. I'm sure it happens. I've never experienced it.
The 3rd November, Ben was meant to go to New York to see Fallon, and he's late, and Fallon gets a phone call in the restaurant, and Ben tells her that his brother has died, and they basically say, well, okay, this, like, same time next year, like, this year's a bust. But then Fallon gets on a plane and flies to him anyway.
Which is, we stan a queen for being there for your friend. Or soon-to-be lover, boyfriend, yeah, whatever they are. Not very exclusive-ish, but it's one of those things where, like, you're not entirely exclusive, I don't think. But, yes. And this is where, like, Miles and Tate and all that come by because, you know, they're friends of Ian's, and it's Ian's brother as well.
Yeah.
I forget how Kyle died. Why do I feel like it's a car accident?
I think it's a car accident. So basically, Fallon's there, and she spends the night, and they kind of decide that they're in love at this point. Like, it's 3 years or 2 years that they've been meeting up, because the first one's when they met, the second one, third one.
Yeah.
So it's 2 years, and they're in love, and they're like, why wait another 2 years? Like, we'll just stay.
Yeah.
But then she realizes that, like, no, like, it's just because, like, they're in their grief and they're overreacting, and she's like, oh, I can't stay, like, I'll come back to next year.
And I think you mentioned in our doc that Tate and Miles had a cute moment. Would you like to elaborate?
I just said it was cute that they were in it.
Oh, okay, just, that's it, nothing, sorry.
Yeah. All good, sorry.
Okay. No, all good. But yeah, devastating. Obviously, Jordan is devastated because she's pregnant, and I don't know forget how far along she was, but like it was pretty far. Pretty far, yeah. But no, very awesome.
Far enough to not consider the old ADORT because that's not an option.
No, no, it's not. Never is. Consistency, we love it. But no, good on Fallon for being there for Ben in this tricky time.
Girls having gender neutral names.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I never really noticed it. But yeah, Fallon is a pretty out of pocket name. It's cool. Yeah. It's a cool name, but like it gives off very rich party girl vibes.
It just reminds me of Jimmy Fallon.
It also reminds me of Dynasty. But yes, very awesome of Fallon to be there. Very tragic for Ben. But what's a Colleen Hoover book without a bit of tragedy? Or a death, or a family death.
Yeah, I feel like at least one person dies in every book.
Probably, unfortunately.
It's true. It's a good track record at the moment.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
It ends with us. Ugly love. This one. You don't even want to know how many people die in Verity.
Oh no.
It's more than 2.
Oh no. Oh, we'll get there when we get there. Alrighty. 4th meetup. Ben and Jordan are together.
No, yes, but wait. Do not just reveal it in that manner. So, 4th meetup. Fallon comes to La La Land. Meet up at restaurant. Ben has brought Jordan's kid.
His nephew.
Fair enough. He's helping his nephew. And they're just talking, and then he says, "We keep the monitor on in our bedroom."
Yep.
We. Fallon is devastated. Ben is with Jordan. Also, that's fucked. But
Alright, let's talk about that.
no, I can sort of understand it in like a grief, like it's a trauma response.
Mm.
Like they're like the only way that we can fix this is by like showering love.
Yes. And kind of in a way try and heal together.
Yeah.
Otherwise
And like I think that's what he says in the end. Like it's like it was because like we were like in grief and we were in the same house. Like it just made sense.
Like it would be really kind of really rude and inconsiderate of him to just like abandon her to for his own type of grief. But like
yeah, just because his brother wasn't there.
And plus, he probably feels bad that the kid doesn't have like a father figure either.
Mm.
But yeah, honestly, when he brought his nephew to the restaurant, I'm like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. I kind of called it.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh, and like he had like the nappy bag and stuff.
Yeah, full father Ben. But like, wouldn't that be a little bit kind of confusing to your kid? Your father is your uncle.
And just the way he was like interacting with him as well.
The true funkle. Yeah, the way he was interacting. Yeah, it was pretty cute though. But what are they now? They'd be 18. He'd be 22, 23 years old. 22 years old at that point.
22.
Pretty mature for a 22-year-old, which is really cool. But yeah, we knew. We've been new. And of course, Fallon is upset. And they have a bit of an argument, I think. And
because she says as well, nope, she doesn't say at this part. Never mind.
But yeah, hang on, let me have a quick squiz. Oh yeah, I think it's just Fallon is just upset, and then she just kind of leaves at one point.
Yeah, because she's in love with him.
Yeah. And she walked away from him last year, and like, you know, it's one of those things where they're missing each other at certain times. Like, yeah, Fallon wasn't ready last year, so Ben takes this opportunity to move on, and suddenly he's in a good place, and now suddenly she's ready, but he's obviously taken.
Like, you're obviously both ready last year, and then she's like, oh wait, no, it's like I would still wait at least one more year, and then on this one be like, well, it's been a year, like I'm not drowning in grief. Like obviously he's still dealing with it, but he's like, it's not my whole life now. Like let's revisit.
And obviously Ben's all like thinks that Fallon hates him, which isn't the case. You know, it was part of the deal. Like, they live their lives, they date other people, fall in love with her dead brother's wives. Oof.
Yeah.
And in the end, we see what happens. It was just one of the sentences. And oof. Yeah, so she is pissed. But I suppose, yeah, it's one of those things where they miss each other, but they're both ready. It's weird. It's annoying. And then now there is doubt as to whether or not they're going to even see each other again on the fifth year. Alright, 5th year, real quick, unless anything else really happens. I don't think so. But throughout this whole process, obviously, yeah, the relationship is developing, they're talking, they're obviously falling in love with each other and stuffing it up at the same time. 5th year, Fallon, it's her turn to find a boyfriend-ish.
Yeah.
They're at a club.
Yeah.
Ben is there, and he poses as, like, a bloody student for a survey. Completely fools the guy.
Yeah. Because Fallon's friends called him?
Yeah, or they told him that they were there.
Yeah, and they're like, you need to come and win Fallon back.
And which he does so, and the other guy is a little bit annoyed about it, but oh well, stiff shit. But like that whole sequence of like, just because he is being condescending towards the guy, because the guy obviously doesn't know Fallon that well. But to be fair, neither does Ben. Like, they've known each other for several hours in total.
Yeah.
But just to be that arrogant and condescending towards the guy, it was very off-putting for me. Like, I get it, you want to charm and win your girl back, but like, did you really have to make it public the other guy like an absolute fool? I don't think he was even a bad guy. He just seems like one of those aloof people that doesn't pay attention that much, but like...
Yeah, I think he was just like a snobby college guy.
Yeah, like it's not like he was mean to her, if I recall. And yeah, so obviously, yeah, Ben wins her back. Everything is all good until I forget what triggers this entire thing. Oh wait, no, yes, I know what triggers
They
it.
go to the beach.
Yeah, it's cute. Do they do anything important at the beach?
No.
Okay, I'm glad you're remembering these details. I'm struggling.
I'm sorry, I think they have like a good conversation.
It's all good. But I know
it's been so long. I've read so many books since then.
Yeah, it's okay. I know at some point, I think someone
They tell each other that they love each other.
but it obviously goes downhill.
Yes.
Someone tells Fallon that Ben hasn't been writing.
No. You're wrong.
I want to get to the part where I can yell at him and I can actually crucify him.
No, it's this part. So, they have sex, I think. Whatever. Anyway.
Hooray.
Hooray. Well done. And they're in bed and he goes to make breakfast or whatever. And she is in his closet looking for a shirt. And then on the top shelf next to a shoebox is a thick stack of pages. It looks like a manuscript because he's been writing a book this whole time.
Yes.
And he said that like he's writing it about Fallon because he's writing like the ultimate like romance love
Yeah,
story.
about the relationship.
She finds November 9 by Benton James Kessler.
Mm-hmm. As per their arrangement, he is writing a book.
Yes.
And she starts to read some of it, obviously. She reads like the first page, which reveals that he started the fire. And this is the part where we think, alright, is Ben lying just to like start the drama for his book? Or is it actually true? Bit of a mind fuckery happening there. And then she goes off at him.
Wait, what?
So she reads the first couple of pages of the manuscript, which reveals like Ben started the fire, but this is the part, as an audience, you don't know if it's true or not. And then obviously Fallon is upset because she doesn't
she's
know.
like, don't tell me I'm your fucking plot twist.
Well, surprise, surprise, lady, you are.
You are.
But yes, and then they have an argument, and obviously she storms off or whatever. But I think Ben also says to her, please read all of it in its entirety.
Yeah. It took 4 years for me to fall in love with him. It only took 4 pages to stop.
Yeah, oof. Honestly.
And then it skips to the 6th November, so it's now been another year.
The plot twists upon plot twists truly begin.
Yeah, let us begin with the plot twist.
Since you're very good at articulating and setting the scene, Kenzie, I'm gonna let you set the scene on the first plot twist of your choice.
My ass is numb.
Plot twist of your choice.
Please leave that in there.
I will.
Okay, it's hard to talk about just one because they're all interconnected, so I'll just start.
I know.
Okay, no, I'll go like from the end backwards so that like I
Okay.
guess it makes more sense. So there was 3, yeah?
I'd say so.
Okay.
Oh, one of them, I wouldn't. Oh, actually, yeah, it would be a plot twist. Anyways, go on.
Plot twist number 1. Fallon's father and Ben's mother were having an affair. Actually, I think it was more Fallon's father having the affair because I think Ben's mum was single.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd agree with that.
Okay. Plot twist 2, trigger warning, self-harm, unaliving. Skip the next 30 seconds if this is an issue for you. Alright, so plot twist 2. Ben's mum unalives herself with a boomstick in the head, and Ben is the one to find her. I just realised there's another plot twist. So then that leads. So Ben's the one who finds her, and so then he figures out that like he like looks through like her emails or something or like her texts and realizes that like it's Fallon's father, like Donovan, whatever their last name is, and so then he goes to Donovan's. So this is years ago. This is when they were like 16.
16.
Yeah. So Ben then goes to Donovan's house and sets a fire and doesn't realize that there's someone inside who is Fallon. So he is ultimately the reason, that Fallon is burned all
It
over.
was meant to just be his car because he wanted Fallon's dad to kind of prove that he loved his mum because, like, he would have found out at some point, and because he's not reacting in the way Ben anticipated, he thought, oh, he doesn't love her, screw him, I'm going to seek some sort of revenge.
Yeah.
So, initially, the car was meant to be lit on fire, and obviously it spread to the rest of the house, therefore Fallon gets hurt.
Yeah.
And that's all the plot twists.
No, there's one more.
Okay.
So, but it's actually not. So, again, Ben assumes that the reason that his mum has unalived herself is because, yeah, that like Donovan doesn't love her or something or whatever. Anyway, however, like I think one of his brothers, like Kyle or whatever, by this point, like there's police and stuff. They're like, and like Ben says, like, oh, it's because of this guy, like blah blah. And they're like, you obviously didn't find the note and you didn't read her unaliving note. And so then he reads it, and it is revealed that she had ovarian cancer and like she was gonna die in a matter of months anyway. So let's break this down.
Okay. What do you want to talk about first?
The unaliving.
Okay. It morally messed me up. Like, I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, so I've always like been in this mindset that like, yeah, like if something like that was to happen to me, like cancer, and they're like, you have 6 months, I'd be like, okay, like bye time, like, and I would do it myself rather than let my body fail me. However, I don't think I would do it as violently as kapowing my brains out.
Yeah, no, look, yeah, I agree. Maybe Colleen Hoover has not heard of voluntary euthanasia.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't like voluntarily killing things.
That's very fair.
She is
I was going to say it's the Texan in her. She's real pro-life, but she isn't.
I think she is.
But yeah.
In that sense. Like, yeah. Babies, yes. Fetuses, yes. Adults, no.
Yeah. I feel like, because the way the mother describes it in the letter, it's like, I didn't want you to bear the burden of, becoming broke through treatments and, like, watch her whittle away. I get that.
And, like, why aren't you having this conversation with your kids? Like, hey, like, I'm diagnosed with this, I'm going to die. Like,
this is how we feel.
And then also go for a nice drive in the woods and then kapowie there. Like, don't do it in your house where your teenage son then has to come in and find your brains on the wall.
Yeah, look, yeah, there are better ways to go about it. Or, like, there are probably a lot more peaceful ways to go about it too, maybe. I don't know, I'm not very familiar with any ways of going.
Take a bunch of, like, Tylenol and just go bye-bye, let's go sleepies.
Sure. But, yeah, like, yeah, the whole situation morally was like, yeah, because he's traumatized because he found you, but now he's also traumatized because he would have been a little bit traumatized, having to take care of you. And that's the thing.
Also, now he's, like, triple traumatized because he found out, like, through the news or whatever, that he's burned Fallon.
And it was the whole, oh, don't want Ian to, your big brother to look after you. Well, he's going to have to look after him anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Morally
but then,
messed up.
Yeah, essentially, and then he says, like, I think it's revealed that he, like, didn't think he'd ever see her, but then, like, she just happens to be in the restaurant that day.
I think so,
with her dad, and he overhears the conversation, and he's like, I need to save you because...
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I think Kyle was like, you are to never go approach her or anything like that, and then... Yeah, he just happenstance.
Obviously, he brings her home as his girlfriend.
Yeah, and then he gets smacked for it. Will Smith style. Bang.
Oh, God.
Bringing in the memes early. But yeah, alright. Let's talk about Ben's indiscretion. This pissed me off. He starts the fire. Goddamn. It really discredits Ben's intentions from the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
Because it gives off savior complex vibes. I don't know if there's something else, but where it's like, oh, the person hurts you, then heals you. I don't know if that's kind of like a thing, like if that has like a term. But I did not like that because it just seemed a little bit disingenuous.
Because then like has this whole, and because he's wanting to be an author this whole time, he's like, oh, I'm looking for my perfect story, and then like meeting her kind of like propels that idea, and it's like, well, has all this just been for your own gain?
Yeah, very selfish.
Like, added bonus that you have fallen in love, but...
And the fact that she also just forgives him, essentially. Because let's think about this. This all happened when they were 16, and then they meet when they're 18. 2 years in between. That's not a lot of time for, like, grief and to get over something traumatic as that. I wouldn't imagine. So, it just, it really discredits...
Like, he's ruined her life. She was, like, quite popular. There's a few times, like, throughout... where, like, people recognise her, like, oh, you used to be on this show or whatever. Like, she was quite, like, I imagine the equivalent of, like, a Disney star, like, teen actor.
Yeah.
Like,
For
she was
sure.
quite famous, and then she couldn't work anymore. So, like, you ruined her life, buddy.
Yeah, and then try to salvage it and savor it, give her homework to go out with guys and all that stuff. It's just, again, it discredits his initial intentions, and I don't like it. I don't like the fact that she forgives him, but she forgives him, whatever.
Yeah, I've written down, do we forgive everything because of love?
No.
Like,
I don't
love
think
is
so.
not, love is not the be-all, end-all.
No. If they had, I think I've said this to you before, if they had somehow met by happenstance when they were both kind of 23, 24, like, I would see it, but because, like, I wouldn't have minded a bit of forgiveness because they probably would have been mature enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
But, and then, Fallon would have had a chance at a fair judgment, but, happening when they're 18, 2 years after this whole thing happened, not good for me.
So her mum, she only read like the first 4 pages of the manuscript, and then her mum found it and read it all, and then she was like, "Oh, you have to read it, like, because like it's a love story to you."
Oh, I hated this.
And it's like, this is probably very traumatic for her to have to read about how he ruined her life.
He committed arson. It's right there in the pages. Yeah, look, I hated the whole guilt tripping. Like, oh, if you just read the full manuscript, oh, poor Ben, blah blah blah.
How much he loves you.
But like, he's the one who took your confidence away, and it just really annoyed me that pressuring Fallon into reading the manuscript just because, oh, poor Ben, he did it out of grief. But like, grief can make you do stupid things, I think, but not to that extent. I don't think committing arson is a full extent. Like, you can let out your emotions in more healthier ways, like therapy.
Or like trying to find the unaliving note.
Perhaps. Or maybe even telling Fallon from the get-go.
Yeah.
Or at least, being like, hi, I caused your fire. And then she can have her fair judgment at forgiveness or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think, is it a matter of, I know suffering is not a contest, but because of the whole Ben, woe is me, my mother committed suicide, I don't think you could justify it.
There's like no way.
Yeah, Fallon should have.
Like, because your mum died.
Yeah, Fallon should have also, Will Smith slapped him, rocked him to the core. It seems a bit self-righteous as well. Because, like, he's not the only... I understand he found her, but, like, Kyle lost his mother too. Ian lost his mother too. Like, they didn't do something impulsive like that.
But I guess because, like, he was 16, like, he was young.
Yeah, that's
like,
very
his
true.
brain isn't fully developed.
And he did think it had something to do with Donovan, which...
Yeah. But again, like, I feel like even, like, a 16-year-old, like, would just go and punch him or something.
Yeah.
Like, would be like, I'm going to set a fire.
Yeah, you'd just punch the guy, and the guy would be like, who the hell are you, kid? It's like... And that's another thing. Like, wouldn't his mum have told Donovan about how she has children, or would that just be on the hush-hush, depending how new that relationship was?
Yeah. I mean, also because, like, it was an affair.
Oh, yeah.
So, but still.
Well, affair on, Donovan's end.
Yeah.
But, oof. Does that mean... It left me with the question... Because Donovan said he cheated on Fallon's mum with Fallon's mum's best friend. Does that mean Ben's mum was Fallon's mum's best friend?
No, because surely they would have known each other.
I remember this was 2 years ago. But, like, in that moment, I know they would have known each other, but, like, this what messed me up. Otherwise,
I mean, maybe they wouldn't have known each other because, no, surely.
I don't know. That's the question I've been thinking about as well. But, I don't know. Yep, I don't forgive Ben. Like, I would not give that kid a chance. I'd be like, you're weird, you ruined my life, fuck off.
Yeah.
And she also kind of forgives her father for his mistreatment and judgments and everything, which, again, I don't think that's deserved. They don't deserve it either. Dad, fuck off. So, intense moral qualms. On to the next book at some point, I guess. The next Colleen Hoover book will be just as brutal, I'm sure.
It'll be worse. I'm fucked up from it.
Alrighty. Is there anything else we want to talk about real quick? I feel like we've gotten everything out.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit on the unprepared side, but that's alright. It's a pretty simple book.
It's been so long.
It's a good read. Yeah, it's just because it's been so long.
I think for Crescent City, I'm getting out the whiteboard.
Okay, cool. But a good book for twist after twist after twist. I like.
Yeah, if you like twists and being kept on your toes, it's a good one. It's a quick read. It's an easy read.
Yeah, I read
standalone
it
modern romance. We love these.
As per, our podcast description.
Yeah.
Sprinkled in with some fantasy.
And, like, is he morally grey?
I think he's just bad, evil.
I think he's evil.
Such a savior complex. Oh, it pisses me off. Sometimes I just can't articulate how I want to describe him, but I do not like him. Enjoyed the book. Do not like the outcome. It kept you on your toes. It was great with anticipation. And again, I loved the whole. It was like a self-aware novel, like because they talk about novel tropes and then they perpetuate them, and it's just fun little perspective about it. Like I liked that. Nice little touch. But yeah, don't agree with the ending. But whatever. We live and we move on. Alrighty. Unless there's anything else to say, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it from us. Thanks for listening.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. As we mentioned, we will be talking about Verity by Colleen Hoover at some point. But I believe the next book we will be recording, and I'll read, is All Your Perfects.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I hated that one.
Oh no. I mean,
I hated it.
I mean, if you want, we can go straight to Verity. I can get started on Verity.
Just read Verity, and then we can do both of them.
Okay. All good. Alright, so Verity and All Your Perfects are on its way, guys.
Yeah.
Be prepared. Thanks for listening. Keep an ear out for the next podcast episode, which will be All Your Perfects, or Verity, depending which one we want to release first.
Yeah.
Both by Colleen Hoover, so you'll know it's a Colleen Hoover. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Before we actually go again, take 3, I guess. Don't forget to check out our social media, Instagram, letterbox_book_club, and obviously on Spotify, Letterbox Book Club. Yeah. See you again. Bye.